Somewhere on this planet right now, a city is adding 500,000 people every single year. By 2070, Nairobi could be one of the largest cities on Earth, 30 million souls, rising a mile above sea level. And what's being built there right now might change what we think a global capital can be. But there's one problem nobody's talking about, and it could decide everything. We'll get there. Most people picture equatorial Africa as sweltering. Nairobi breaks that assumption completely. Sitting at nearly 1,800 meters, it already enjoys spring-like temperatures year-round, a climate most coastal cities could lose by mid-century. Climate models suggest that as temperatures rise, highland cities like Nairobi could become some of the most livable places on the continent. And that single geographic fact might be the engine behind the biggest urban transformation of the 21st century. This isn't pure fantasy. Kenya already hosts Africa's largest startup ecosystem, a corridor known as Silicon Savannah. M-Pesa, born here, revolutionized mobile money worldwide. That was just the beginning. Konza Technopolis, a planned smart city 60 kilometers south of Nairobi, is already under construction today. By 2070, futurists imagine it could anchor an innovation belt stretching across the entire Rift Valley. 30 million people can't sprawl forever. Experts predict Nairobi might have no choice but to build vertically and radically. Imagine residential towers where every 10th floor is a public park, trees, playgrounds, clinics, suspended 200 meters in the air. Architects today are already designing mass timber skyscrapers using sustainable African hardwoods, structures that store carbon instead of producing it. The Nairobi of 2070 might not look like Dubai or Shanghai. It could look like nothing we've ever seen. Here's where it gets extraordinary. By mid-century, food sovereignty could become the defining challenge of every mega-city. Futurists envision vertical farming towers throughout Nairobi, growing leafy greens, herbs, even grain alternatives using 90% less water. Kenya's flour export industry already proves the nation can grow at industrial scale. The infrastructure of precision agriculture exists. Now imagine that expertise turned inward, feeding a city the size of Tokyo, from towers you can see from your apartment window. Now, that problem nobody's talking about. Climate models project that parts of lowland equatorial Africa could become dangerously hot. Coastal cities like Mombasa and Dar es Salaam could face extreme heat and rising seas. Highland Nairobi might become a refuge. Managing that influx, housing, water, sanitation, belonging, could be the greatest urban planning challenge of the century. But Nairobi has reinvented itself before, and what's happening in one of its most famous neighborhoods suggests it might do it again. Today, Kibera is one of Africa's largest informal settlements. By 2070, urban planners imagine it could be completely transformed, not erased, but upgraded from within, preserving the community networks that already make it one of the most resourceful places on Earth. Community-led design projects are already underway today, mapping, building, advocating. This future isn't imposed, it's grown, and just beyond the city's edge, something even wilder might be waiting. Nairobi is the only major city on Earth with a national park inside its borders. Lions, giraffes, rhinos, minutes from downtown. By 2070, protecting that boundary could become the city's most powerful symbol, proof that growth and nature aren't enemies. Conservationists already propose expanding wildlife corridors using elevated infrastructure, letting animals pass freely beneath the city's arteries. A mega-city where you might hear a lion roar from your balcony. No other place on Earth could offer that. Nairobi's traffic today is legendary, sometimes brutal. By 2070, the entire transport grid could be unrecognizable. Autonomous electric matatus, evolved from Kenya's iconic minibuses, could weave through the city on demand, summoned by voice. The Nairobi commuter rail, already expanding today, might by then connect satellite cities across a 100-kilometer metropolitan region. A city that once choked on congestion might breathe entirely through clean electric arteries. Remember that problem nobody's talking about? It's not population, it's not climate, it's imagination. The world still imagines Africa's future through the lens of its past. Nairobi is already proving that wrong. Today, by 2070, this city might not just be Africa's capital, it could be one of the capitals of the world. The only question is whether we'll be paying attention when it happens. Nairobi isn't waiting for permission. If this future fascinates you, share it with someone who needs to see what's coming. And tell me, what city should we imagine next?